Welcome to Wheel Podcast for Laughs. On this episode, we talk with V's friend Dallas. She tells us about her experiences working on a cruise ship, all of her travel journeys, and she gives a warning to people interested in working on a cruise ship. It's all today on Wheel Podcast for Laughs.
Hello, and welcome to Will Podcast for Laughs with V,
Ian,
and Taylor.
Today is Fun Friday! Woo-hoo! And we are going to be talking with Dallas.
Yay!
Dallas, hello.
Hi.
Hey.
I like to collect friends that have names of different places. So I've got Dallas, and I've got Sydney, and I've got that's it.
I'm sure you'll collect more.
If I
Do
find...
you have a friend named Branson?
No, that would be
Dang
dope.
it.
If I get a puppy, I'll name my puppy Branson. Just for you,
Aww.
Taylor. And I'll start yelling, Branson! Why do you suck so bad, Branson? All the time. So, Dallas, I wanted to invite you here to talk because you said an interesting phrase to me recently that I don't think that you realized was interesting. She very casually was like, oh, this one time I backpacked through Europe. And I was like, what?
I'm sorry,
Oh,
wait
yeah.
a second. You want to back that
What? That's like, what? That's like, oh yeah, this one time
Sounds
I
like quite an adventure.
climbed Mount Everest. Like, no. That's not something you just graze over.
I don't remember that one, but yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it'd be kind of cool if you came in and talked with us a little bit about that, because I know there's a lot of people, especially our generation, that are like, I'm going to backpack one day. So who better to ask than someone who's done it?
Yeah.
So, okay, my first question would be, what made you want to do that?
Well, you know this, but I used to work on cruise ships,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like kind of our connection.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's how.
Although you really worked on cruise ships, I
I
vacate
didn't.
for 4 weeks. So,
yeah. But having done that, like, met people literally from all over the world in different countries, and I was given the opportunity, like, time-wise as well, to, like, be able to travel. So, not like, oh, do I have enough vacation days? It was like, no, I have 2 months, what am I gonna do? Yeah. So I would go
So you had
and
the time.
I'd pick a place, and off I went. So I did Europe and Asia and other places.
So, okay, now for someone who's gonna just, like, I guess, plan something like that, is it preemptive? Do you sit down and go, okay, I'm gonna go to this place first, and then I go to this place, and I go to this place, or did you just kind of
For the
wing
most
it?
part. Well, because I went by myself, so I was not about to, like, wing it flying solo and hopes, fingers crossed, that I made it okay. I made the decision where I was going to go first. So, like, with Europe, I have friends there. And I started with flights and then kind of, like, went from there and, like, figured out where I wanted to visit and who I was going to stay with. I never wanted to be on the street. So I always had a place to stay.
Yeah.
That was always pre-planned.
That makes sense.
But, yeah. And then when I went to Asia, I did my research first, and everyone was like, oh, you have to see this country, and you have to see this country, and you have to go for this amount of time. So I'm a big time planner, like, organizer. Like, everything was set to go. I knew how long I was staying somewhere. I knew how much money I had to spend. But then I went, and I had fun, and I loved it.
That's good.
That's awesome.
But I'm a planner.
What countries did you go to?
When I was in Europe, I just went to Croatia and the Czech Republic.
Oh, that's cool.
But I have friends in Croatia, so I wanted to stay there for a long
Yeah,
time and, like,
definitely.
spend time with them and, like, have them show me around. And then I figured while I was there, I'd try somewhere else. So I went to the Czech Republic for a few days, which is a beautiful country. But I went in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, Facebook told me today that 4 years ago today is when I went.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was, like, super excited about that. I was like,
Nice.
it's all coming
Very
around.
nice.
Yeah.
Convenient.
And then when I went to Asia, I went to Thailand. And then, I'm trying to remember. That was kind of a blur.
Did you ride
It
an
was
elephant in
traumatic.
Thailand?
No.
Did you see an elephant?
Ooh,
Are
I don't even know if I
elephants
did.
real?
Are elephants real?
I don't know if I did.
Oh, they're lying. They're not there. We were doing, so
I really don't think I did.
we did the most romantic places in Thailand was on there, and it said on the thing, like, most romantic because you get to ride into the sunset on an elephant. I'm like, how many people have done that, though?
I watched the sun
Probably a lot of
rise.
Those things are like those things.
It's the same elephant.
I mean, in like
He's
in like
just like, I
Thailand
hate
and like
my
India
life.
and stuff, like
I
those
hate-
things are like tractors. So it's like they're just around.
Is it weird that I would find it more romantic to ride into the sunset on, like, a dinosaur? That'd be dope.
I mean, it'd be dope, but I don't know about romantic.
It'd be
no,
so
but
cool.
romantic, because that'd be a little fearful. Well, what kind of dinosaur?
Like the long neck. Not like the scary
Oh, okay.
T-Rex.
That's just
You missed
slow.
my long neck motion.
That's right. That's
Why you
something that's
ran-
going to be much faster than you are.
Could you imagine? Or a giraffe? Okay, sorry, we're getting sidetracked.
We're getting way sidetracked.
But back to Thailand elephants. So,
Yeah, I actually didn't. I went to Cambodia as well, and I saw the sunrise over Angkor Wat, which is like big,
Oh, that's
like
cool.
famous temple. It's not a tourist trap by any means, but like you think you're the only one there, and there's like thousands of other people there watching the sunrise. It's still
you're
very
all
cool,
squished
but
together.
Yeah, you just gotta have to go
You're
in
like-
knowing this is what's gonna happen.
That's so funny.
And then I went to Indonesia on that trip as well.
Oh, cool.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the question becomes, what was your favorite place / favorite part?
I actually really fell in love with Croatia. I went in the winter, and so it was like hard to be like, yeah, because they have beautiful beaches. But then you're like, well, I'm not going to the beach. It's February.
Well, you can tell they have
And
beautiful
it's cool.
beaches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was cool. I would actually go back because there's so much more I would like to see. Plus, I really like Game of Thrones, and they film in the capital Dubrovnik a lot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you're like,
So I would like to
in,
like go.
you're
I
in
want
the
to go and like
series.
see that. Yeah, I would like to be an extra if anyone.
You just show up in garb.
Needs
You're
me.
like, I'm ready. Where are you guys at?
Yeah.
That's how I felt when I went to Hawaii and they told me that the Hunger Games were filmed on that island. I was like, oh, hell yeah. Where's Jennifer Lawrence at? I got my bow and arrow. I'm ready.
Yeah.
They're like, nah. That was like 4 years ago. I was like, oh,
Nah, girl. Nah.
Nah.
you're not. You can't do that. I wonder if they would, though. Could you imagine someone just showed up on set? Like, just in full...
Hi, I'm here for
What
the
would you do,
filming.
Taylor? Like, Taylor wants to do film. What would you do if you had an extra show up that was like in full outfit and was like, I'm ready. Put me wherever you want.
Mm-mm.
No?
No, we're
But
straight.
they're dedicated.
No.
They had to research your set. They had to go buy their own
Get
costume,
costume.
They did some
Here's-
real stalking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is a valuable asset.
Effort.
Did they
Read the
did,
script?
No.
Yes.
Well, did we put a call out for extras? No.
Did they read your mind and know you were
Just a
going
random
to? though?
extra. You'd be like, oh, I don't think we call these guys.
Yeah. and then on top of that, it's just like, how did you find us?
You know,
That's
Because
exactly the question.
that's why
Concerned.
shoots have alternate names. Like Star Wars had an alternate name of Blue Harvest.
Yeah.
What?
Because they didn't want you to find their set.
Yeah.
How did you know that, though?
That's a very
Star Trek,
Ah.
Star Trek came out in '71
Uh,
before we were all born.
I'm just saying, if Taylor can figure it out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
a fun fact. I didn't
A
know
lot,
that.
yeah, films when they're on location, they'll actually shoot under different
That's
names.
cool.
do they have the actors under different names?
Well, so some films, if they're trying to be like ultra secretive about what's going on set,
They don't even announce when they're filming and stuff.
yeah. So they'll have their actors and everybody sign non-disclosure agreements, and then they'll just film. They'll never really publicly announce where or what they're filming.
That's crazy. See, that when I was in New York, they were like, "Oh, we tell everyone when we're filming so you can come out and meet the people." So they lied to me in New York. But that's probably because it's New York and it's different. But I don't know.
It's probably, yeah, you can't be as discreet.
Yeah, I took a movie
New
tour
York.
in New York and it was dope. Anyways, okay,
Dope.
back to you. So,
I thought this was about me.
yeah, it's about dollars. Sorry. Well, you said Game of Thrones, and then I got all kinds of.
We
distracted.
were already bent out on elephants.
Wait a second. Okay, so that was your favorite part. So okay,
Yeah.
how are the people? I'm always curious about the culture and the people, and like,
Yeah.
be
So
honest.
That's a big reason why I wanted to go. So
Mhm.
in Southeast Asia, working on cruise ships, even if you've never worked on them, you've been on a cruise, you kind of see this. But like a lot of the crew members are from like some of the Southeastern Asian countries, the Philippines and Thailand and Indonesia. And so a little bit of the reason why I wanted to go is because I thought, I want to see where these people are from. I want to see where they live. This is like a huge part of my life, and I'd met so many great people, and they all seemed so wonderful. So I thought, let me go and let me check it out. Let
Yeah.
me see if this is legit. And it is. It absolutely is. I think Cambodia is probably my favorite because they were just like the nicest, kindest, most welcoming people. Like I never felt like I wasn't safe. And I don't know, they were just very kind-hearted people.
That's cool.
So that was really nice.
That's always good and refreshing. It
Yeah.
sucks when like you have these expectations and then you go to somewhere and yeah, we're like the tourists, and my experience with international travel has been that we're always the Americans.
Yeah.
And like I remember when we were in Jamaica, they literally called us tourist. Like they'd see us walking and they go tourist.
Oh, you're a tourist.
And it was
Tourist!
frustrating because we weren't there under that. You know, we were there
Yeah.
for different reasons, but
Yeah.
they literally just
Yeah.
little kids pointing at you, tourist. And then in Haiti, they called
Imagine
us
if we did that
blanc.
here. Like,
Yeah, just walking down the strip,
None
tourist.
of you belong here.
Getting it wrong, just pointing to random people.
Just anyone you
being
see.
Super racist. Tourist? No, I live here. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, and then in Haiti, they called us blanc, which is white, because we were like the only white people there.
Yeah.
So.
You stood out.
Yeah, but those weren't like luxury things, so maybe it's different. But I think being a tourist city as well, I know, like, I personally know friends that we were like, I hate tourists. Not because of the people themselves, but just because of the mentality they come into the city with of,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, everything's about me, and my room was not prepared. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, relax. Like, you know.
And this is Vegas. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So you're up at 4 a.m. wandering the strip drunk and.
I love when I
debauchery.
drive when I used to tour guide.
Yeah.
And even just if I drive down Las Vegas Boulevard for whatever godforsaken reason, I always tell people, roll down the window. I guarantee you, give it like less than 2 minutes, you will hear a Vegas, woo!
Yeah.
It always is one of those. It also happens on every flight. If you ever
Oh.
fly home,
Yes, when I came back, what day did I come back? I came back on New Year's Eve. So I'm from Wisconsin originally. I flew back on New Year's Eve that afternoon.
that sounds
back
awful.
here, I had the worst flight experience I've ever had. Mind you, I travel a lot. You know this.
Yes.
And I was like, no. The flight attendants had to cut this guy off behind me on the amount of alcohol he was
Aw.
consuming because he was so obnoxious. He was
God.
like yelling stuff. And I'm like, okay, I get it. You're going for New Year's Eve to Vegas.
yeah.
But seriously, like
chill.
please, you're not there yet. Like, everyone would like to
No.
enjoy this flight. Oh,
Nope,
it was
it's too
miserable.
late. I love when they make the little joke and they're like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lost Wages.
The city
and you're
of
like,
lost
the
wages.
same
Yeah.
joke. I fly a lot as well. Every time I've flown back to Vegas, I meet the most interesting people. I sat between.
You talk to all your seatmates, don't you?
I always have to talk
Oh,
to them.
no.
You never
If
know.
I sat next
I've
to you, I
made
would
a
die.
friend.
I know, that's how I feel about
I
that.
don't
I
talk to
feel like
I'll put the foot.
Okay.
casually puts headphones on.
Okay. I know when people don't want to be my friend, guys. I can read the clues, okay? But sometimes
3 hours
there's
into the
people who
flight,
are.
the person's like, and so, you
so
know, I
sorry.
was just thinking the other day, it's like, man.
Whatever. But then I wouldn't have this cool story. So flying back to Vegas, I don't remember where from, but I was sitting between a girl on my left who was on her way to rehab, who was 18.
Ooh.
And then on my right was a man that was originally a woman who was then hitting on this girl and then proceeded to buy her drinks on her way to rehab.
Wait. And she's going to Vegas for rehab?
Yes!
Going to,
Was she
She's
going
like-
to rehab for alcohol?
Yes!
Oh.
She's like, my parents are sending me to Vegas for rehab. I'm like, wait, hold on. Wait, whoa.
Like, the day club rehab or like actual like rehab?
No, not like the day club.
Oh, we got some.
We have
good
actual
facilities
rehabs here.
Yeah.
But I was like, who sends their, like, that's like
Yeah.
sending your person into the pit
Yeah.
of hell to keep them cool. Like,
Yeah.
why would you do that?
No.
Like, that's, so, but the thing was that then this gentleman started listening to her story and was like, oh, that's so sad. Well, why don't I get you a shot? And then her theory was, the girl's theory was, yeah, just one more to go out with. And I was like, oh my gosh.
No.
I'm like, what is happening? And then we land in Vegas and I'm like, of course, only coming home.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you going to Vegas for? I'm like, unfortunately, I live there.
Bright side, it looks really pretty when you're flying into Vegas at night.
That is true.
I
Thank
always
you
try
for
to go
bringing
a window
positivity
seat.
to that.
Yeah, I was trying to go for a window seat for that.
It is nice.
And then I partially feel bad because like there was a guy sitting next to me one time and he was like trying to get pictures like past me in the window and I was like, I live here, I don't want pictures, I don't care. So I was like squeeze like
Yeah,
back.
let
And
him
I'm
do
like,
it.
go ahead, take your picture. She's like, I just really like the window seat.
I love when you're flying in and the people on the side that don't have the strip, they're like, where is it?
Yeah, they're like trying to see over.
It doesn't exist. It was all a fake facade.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I remember coming in when I was a kid to Vegas. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, sure enough, looking at the side of the plane at the strip below, and I was just like, wow, because that was the first plane trip I had ever taken. And so seeing the lights of Vegas from above,
Yeah.
it is something incredible. Especially because if anything back then, there was no Aria, there was no
Yeah.
Cosmopolitan. There was still some of that older Vegas.
Right.
It's almost like it was more whimsical.
Yeah.
Like,
Before they
like
blew up
Circus
Pepsi
Circus,
City.
like, look at the circus tent. Now it's like massive bright lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying.
There is a lot of that. I like looking at all the little houses. Anywhere I
see my
fly.
house every time I take off.
It's really?
Yeah, I always look for it.
If you leave Vegas in the day, or if you come into Vegas in the day, you'll see all of the houses have pools in the backyard. I think that's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to out here. But, like, you fly into, like, Wisconsin.
When I go home.
You're like, where are the pools?
Yep. and
It's
you're
just
lucky
squares.
You spot one.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
well, okay. So, we have a few more minutes left.
Okay.
Your carnival experience.
Yes.
Which is, like, a whole thing all in itself.
It is. It is.
From that, what would you say was like the takeaway? And here's the real question: what would you tell someone out there? Because even my experience, only being on the ship for like 4 days, people always are like, "Oh, that sounds so fun! I would love to do that."
Yes,
so,
all the time.
what would you tell someone out there if they're like, I think I might want to work on a cruise ship?
Okay. The first thing I would ask them is,
Do you hate your life?
do you, because I can make you hate it more. No, but do you ever get homesick? Do you ever feel like, I don't know, because
Like
that's the
people-wise?
biggest thing. That's the biggest thing about how I see like people when they just up and quit and go home
Mhm.
is because they can't handle the concept of 6 months in a row, no days off. You don't get a weekend or a holiday or anything. You are working nonstop, and you can't be like, oh, I mean, I'm just not gonna come in today. I need like a me day. You don't get any
Yeah.
of that. So
You can't
like,
call your boss and be like, "There's traffic."
it looks fun from an outsider,
Yeah.
right? You're like, sorry, there's traffic on the I-95.
Yeah, I tried that. I called in when I was on the ship. I was like, "There's really bad traffic in the walkway." He's like, "Get in here." I was like, "Okay."
There's literally no excuse, and you're constantly
Yeah.
on call. You see it from the outside, like, oh my god, you have such a fun job, and you're hosting bingo, and you're doing karaoke. Yes, it's great, it's fun, but it's nonstop.
Yeah.
And you have to be on all the time. Like,
Yeah.
even
for the
if
guests.
even if you're like a waiter, they sing and dance. You have to literally learn a dance routine to perform while you're serving food to people in the
Right.
restaurant, in the dining room. It's like, so you have to be prepared for that, like the amount of hard work that it is. It's a blast. You travel the world. Like, I've met people from all over the place. I literally wouldn't know you had I not worked on cruise ships.
This is true.
And like, small world, like pulling friends from here and there, but yeah, so it is a blast. Don't 50-year-olds are like, oh my god, I would totally do this when I retire. No, you won't. Because first of all, you won't pass the physical.
Yeah, the physical is rigorous.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was grandfathered in. I heard the story you told about how you didn't pass yours at first.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
had to lose 60 pounds.
Yeah, so I was actually like grandfathered in, and they tried to tell me at one point, like, oh, if you want to come back next contract, you have to lose weight. And I was like, no, I don't. I absolutely don't.
Nope.
Because the captain is twice as heavy as I am, and he seems to be doing just fine. So
Ooh, boom, boozle.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but he's the captain.
Right.
So, like, without him, we can't go anywhere.
But it is, I
at
mean,
5
it
miles an hour.
is rigorous. It takes a toll on your body, and eventually, like, that was
Yeah.
kind of why, part of why I quit. I didn't want to sleep in a bunk bed anymore with a bunch of random people and work until midnight and then start the next day at 6 a.m.
That was one of the things I think people were most shocked to learn. Like, the shifts, they don't schedule you, like, 8 hours a day, like a regular
Yeah.
job. Your shifts are, like, 12 to 4, and then you have a 2-hour break. And then it's, like, 6 to 8, and then you have a 6-hour break. And then it's, like, that's how they do it.
Oh god.
So,
that's
and then they're
miserable.
like, in their theory, they're like, oh, we have 2 hours, you can go lay down to your bunk.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, or I could just, like, work 8 hours like a normal human. Because it's not an
Yeah.
American-based thing, but...
It's a lot to prepare for
Yeah.
sure. Not just anyone can do it, but it was something I would do all over again in a heartbeat. I was 26 when I started. I did it for 6 years, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work, yeah. But it also gave me the opportunities to travel as much as I did.
So, like anything, it has pluses and minuses.
Absolutely. But it's,
Cool.
yeah. The minuses are just really rough.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
But the
Well,
pluses are big highs.
guys, do you have any questions for Dallas as we wrap up?
Not that I can think of. You got any?
No, I don't have any questions. I do have something we could follow up with, but I
Okay.
don't have any questions.
Okay.
Well, just the follow up is we were talking earlier about Blue Harvest, how that was the shooting
Yeah.
for
Oh, yeah.
one of the Star Wars films. Well, the Lord of the Rings films shot under changing seasons for Fellowship of the Ring. Grand Tour for Two Towers, and Till Death for Glory for Return of the King.
Till death.
The 2009 Star Trek reboot shot under the title Corporate Headquarters.
Oh, really?
E.T. shot under the title A Boy's Life.
Aww.
The Avengers shot under the title Group Hug.
Group hug.
That's awesome.
Aw.
Let's see here. 2001: A Space Odyssey shot under How the Solar System Was Won. And a couple more here. They're my favorite. So The Dark Knight shot under Rory's First Kiss. And then Harry Potter: The
What's up with
Chambers.
these working titles.
Well, they're meant to throw up so fans
meant to
don't
throw people off.
don't
Yeah.
like storm the set.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
Now
they
I'm
don't-
just
We
gonna
don't
go
know
to-
Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
last
just gonna-
one, Harry Potter: The Chamber of Secrets shot under Incident on 57th Street. And so there you
Now
are.
I'm
So
gonna
there's
go to every
your
place.
working titles for all
I
those
love
films
it.
to throw your patootie
See,
off.
you learned something.
I did. I love, because of cruise ships, I love random knowledge and trivia like
Yeah,
that.
there you
So this
go.
is
So you
perfect.
learned something, we learned
Yes.
something. It's all
The
good.
more you know.
Yeah. Well, Dallas, thank you so much
Yes,
for
thank you
coming
for
and hanging
joining
out.
us.
Thank
Yeah,
you
we really
guys.
appreciate it.
That was
Yeah, you have a
fun.
very nice bubbly attitude. No wonder you work on cruise ships.
Right? I
Yeah.
fit.
This is nice. This is a good way to open the day. I like it.
Yep.
All right,
Instead
and wrap
of,
up our
instead of-
week.
Instead of just talking to you guys.
All right.
I know.
Shut up, Taylor. God. All right. Well, we'll catch you guys next week.
Oh my gosh, it's March.
It's March. It's March 1st. St.
Ah!
Patrick's
Get
Day.
your green gear out.
Can you guys believe we've been doing this for 2 months?
The Ides of
Yeah.
March. I can't believe it, Taylor.
Yeah,
I
our
can.
first episode
I-
went up 2 months ago.
Yeah, time flies.
Wah,
Whether you're having fun or not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and change that quote. It's not time flies very fun. It flies either way. So
Time just flies.
it just flies. Period.
It just flies
We're just
faster.
hurtling
Or-
in that
yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
Time flies, but it seems to fly faster
Yeah.
because you're doing something you like. When you do
Yeah.
something you don't like, time just decides it's just going to be like, it's only been 3 minutes, but
Well, you
it's
think
felt
about
like
it
5
more. You're
hours.
Like, yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I just want it to be over with. What time is it? As opposed to just letting time.
Yeah.
It's true.
Be
My
in the
weekends
background.
go by in like 2 blinks.
Like
My
the-
weekdays, I'm like, does it ever end?
I know I'm not so busy today, but like I actually
So
have
busy?
stuff planned today.
Yeah.
I have a different problem. Everything just kind of blends together for me.
Really?
Sometimes I forget what day of the week it is. I'm like,
Yeah.
is it Thursday or something? Or
Yeah,
it's like,
I mean,
oh, it's Sunday.
We only have 1 day off a week. Yeah, I agree. It's just
Yeah.
like, ha! Oh, the schedule says I have class. Oh, good. I'm
Like,
glad
I
I'm on a
can't-
schedule.
I-
It's like,
I can't believe it's March. Goodness. All right. Well,
Yep.
have a safe weekend.
Yes,
And we
thanks for
will
joining
be
us.
back on Monday.
Monday.
Monday. Monday.
All right.
Weirdness just passes through each human.
Alright.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Have an excellent weekend, and